And away we go. Welcome back to the pickup meeting, broadcasting live from the intersection of Let's Take This Offline and Do We Have a Hard Stop? I'm Kevin Thomas, joined by the Chief Vibes Officer of this show, my good friend, Brody Broshears.
Oh, you messed it up, but it was still pretty good.
Oh, it's so disappointing when I stumble through the Chief Vibes Officer. I didn't realize how hard that was going to be to say.
You should have practiced.
I did, and apparently not enough.
Oh, that's all right.
That's right.
It's the thought that counts, Kevin.
That's right. Here we are coming to you on a Wednesday, recording on a Friday.
Friday.
Oh, geez. Here we go. And we have some fun topics for the day before we welcome our guest on. Brody, we've been talking about this on our phone calls, which I think Matt really would love to record the phone calls because they're a little more vulgar, probably a little more out there than the show itself. But like, you have new food discoveries that are occurring in your life, and I guess so do I.
Yes. I was at an advisor social about a month ago. And, I grew up on the Dairy Queen. We talked about the Dairy Queen, I think, the last time we recorded even. And at this advisor social, one of the options was a butterscotch-laced Dilly Bar. And I was like, what is this devil magic? Like, it was delicious. Unbelievable. Now they live in my brain rent-free.
And did you go buy some?
I haven't bought any. I need to get to Jewel and see if they have some.
And are you a regular Dilly Bar fan?
I mean, who doesn't love a good Dilly Bar? I mean, they're delicious. But I've only known them with chocolate. And so the butterscotch thing was next level great. Game
changer.
And only 200 calories.
And who said that? You haven't gone to buy any. Did they lie to you?
They were it was in the package. I know. Like, I'm tracking calories again. I was like, holy moly.
I would eat a Dilly Bar, butterscotch or not.
Yeah.
But my recent thing that I enjoy is anything sour related. And I just have these in front of my computer right now. Sour Patch Kids. They are so good. And you add in that or Nerd Clusters, like, sign me up. Like, I've not been a real sweet candy person, and for some reason at this moment it's hitting.
That's awesome.
Right? Like, now that the jelly bean season is over, no more Starburst jelly bean for me. Now I'm moving to the sour candies.
Those gummy sours are delicious. Have you had the Nerd Clusters? That was another one that I'm really kind of into now too.
They're so good. And I hear they're great for your teeth.
I've read that they're just essentially poison. I mean, in real life, like, that they're made of such terrible chemicals.
Well,
delicious.
Sponsorship. This segment's brought to you by Nerd Clusters. They're poison.
But they taste delicious.
They taste delicious. Do you have bold food takes that you would die on?
Oh, I absolutely do. Fish is disgusting.
Fish is disgusting. This is a callback to the Todd Burrell episode when he was like, at the end of a hard week, I would love some salmon. And then Brody vomits.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tuna is kind of the ire. Like, all of my family enjoys tuna. And they'll make tuna casserole. I won't even clean the plates. Like, if you make tuna in my house, you're on your own. It's disgusting.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of casseroles that are like tuna or chicken or any of it. And so I'm with you on that, but yours is fish related.
I mean, I just hate all fish.
Yeah. I don't do sauces.
That is weird, man. We were talking about this. You don't even eat ketchup.
No.
I mean, in America, ketchup's like a food group.
No, ketchup's nasty.
What?
Listen, ketchup can be in things, right? Mixed in with things, but by itself, if you've got to dip something into ketchup, then you shouldn't be eating something.
Oh my God. Fries?
No. But I'm not I'll get wings and I love wings, but do not put the sauce on it. I will dip if I want to.
You're weird.
Yeah, I am a little different.
I guess we're all a little crazy with our food.
Yeah, dips are better than sauces in my mind because then I control the balance.
I mean, I've always thought it'd be fun to do my own food show, but not eating fish feels like a disqualification. How many of those shows do you watch where they're eating seafood at some point in time?
I always wondered how Guy Fieri did his stuff for so long because he doesn't like eggs.
Yeah, that's crazy.
This feels similar, except you have less hair than Guy Fieri.
I know.
And less money, probably, but
yeah. And I'm probably not as charming as him either. Maybe. I don't know.
Hey, our guest today is coming to us from California.
Yeah.
And we're gonna say the sunny state of. And it made me think, like, are you a beach vacation person or a city vacation person?
I don't know. I was thinking about the vacations I've taken in the last 10 years. And in my two favorite vacations, one was beach related and one was city related. So I don't know that I have a good answer. We went to Vancouver in 2024 and it was amazing and really more outdoorsy.
Amazing.
I mean, Vancouver is just a wonderful city, right? You've got island, the weather's pretty temperate. There's lots of nature close by, but in the city, there's like Stanley Park. I mean, the food is pretty amazing. It's a pretty diverse place. We just had fun city adventure. Plus, we did a couple of really big outdoors things. We did the grouse challenge, which is like this really hard climb. And that was super fun. But I've also been to Anna Maria Island, and we just kind of laid out on the beach and did hardly nothing. And that was great too.
I don't even know where Anna Maria Island is. Am I saying
Anna Maria. Sorry.
I don't know where this is at.
It's in Florida. Kind of near St. Pete, Clearwater.
Yeah, I think I am on the flip opposite of your statement in that, and you're not really picking one because you're saying both can be great.
I am not. I am walking the line.
And I just think that I just think I'm unique to where I'm at. And so there are cities I enjoy, and then there are cities I for sure do not. But the true answer to this is the beach is stupid. I do not like the beach. I don't want the beach. I don't want the sand. I don't want the sun. I don't want to sit near strange people and have to worry about their behaviors. I am good. Keep me away from the beach. The last time I was on a beach, I went into the water, and what is it? The manatee, the cow of the sea.
Yeah.
Like, I am in the water, and there's a woman in front of me, and she says, "Do not turn around." And at that moment, I think I'm about to die. And then I feel something brush my leg, and I turn around because something just brushed my leg in the ocean, and it was a rather large manatee just going and doing its thing, which was very cool, but also could have been a shark. Let's just talk about that. It could have been a shark. And so, no, thank you. I'm done. I'm out. I think that it was a very peaceful moment. Everyone says, how cool. Okay, I'm done.
I love being really close to dolphins. We did this thing in Panama City with a dolphin guy, like a dolphin tour, and he had us jumping into the water when the dolphins were kind of, hopping over us. It was pretty fun. And I didn't do any of that because I can't remember why I didn't do it. I just enjoyed the kids doing it, Kat doing it. But they're like, the dolphins are so close. It was pretty crazy.
That sounds terrifying too.
It was pretty fun.
I don't get it. You're so much more adventurous than me.
I do like adventure. There's no doubt about that.
Yes. Standing in line at record stores and not swimming with the dolphins. You are out of control, you rebel.
The grouse grind is hard. You do it. And when we went to Zion, we did a lot of big hiking last year too. Like we're up for it.
All right. Listen, You do you. I'm proud of you. And
I mean, I can't run into manatees or black bears in the cabins. Like I'm not you, Kevin. Like your brushes with death. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, almost death. I mean, no death at all. Like clearly you're safe in both of those spaces. But I mean, you were probably close to dying.
when the bear came at me, I was a little nervous that day, I will say. All I was doing was playing some miniature golf. And yes, there was a bear on the miniature golf course. And it did come at me. And it did a hiss thing that they said is not healthy for my survival. But I'm still here.
You almost died. Do you know what that means? It means you didn't die.
Yes. Well, that's the truth. Listen, I think that we should get through our near-death experiences and welcome on our guest today for the pickup meeting. We welcome Dr. Beth Lesen, Vice President of Student Affairs and Enrollment at California State University Long Beach. Beth has been at CSU Long Beach since 2020. She leads a division of more than 30 programs, serving a student body that's primarily first-generation college students and Pell-eligible students. One of the things she grew the division fundraising, this was this blown away stat number, my goodness, yes, from 750,000 to 8 million annually. Holy smokes. She pioneered the embedded care design model for mental health support, which reimagines how campuses actually deliver care and which has received national attention for doing so. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yes.
First, can we talk about Dilly Bars? Because I don't know what that is.
So it's like it's a Dairy Queen specific product.
Like when I go to Dairy Queen, I get a Blizzard. I don't understand the Dilly Bar business.
So it's on a stick. It's like ice cream on a stick. And
how do you even get to the Dilly Bar? Why would you not get a Blizzard?
I mean, I do love a good Blizzard. That's a fair assessment, Beth. Of what
I don't know that I could go to a Dairy Queen and get anything but a Blizzard.
I love the banana split Blizzard. It's my favorite Blizzard.
Oh, that's interesting. I haven't had that. It's a good recommendation.
You know, the thing that I don't really even think of Dairy Queen when I think of Dilly Bar either anymore. I think of the Mickey Mouse equivalent from Disney, which is essentially the Mickey ears on a stick. and it's the same thing. It's just in the shape of Mickey as opposed to a little.
Oh, okay. So that's what a Dilly Bar is?
Yep. Yeah, but it's more like cylinder-like.
Because at Disney, because I live close to Disney, you have to do the Dole Whip. So I've never really.
Oh, that's also a win.
Hot take. Got to do the Dole Whip.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not going to do the Dilly Bar and the Dole Whip in the same day. That feels a little too far.
What's your Blizzard flavor?
It's usually Butterfinger.
Oh.
I'm usually a Butterfinger Blizzard, but sometimes I'll be a Reese's Blizzard.
Those would probably be my next two.
Yeah.
I was really curious about that answer and how much you were going to be real or just pick on Brody and name it a fish topic, right? Like salmon.
The salmon Blizzard is your favorite?
I have a son who won't eat fish, so I don't understand you people, but that's okay. I'm also, by the way, a dip over sauce person. I prefer dip over sauce because I too, Kevin, have control issues.
I was waiting for you to analyze that for me.
Yes, I have control issues.
Yeah.
Yes. And also, I'm a Skittles girl. No nerd clusters for me. Skittles.
I mean, the good news is Skittles are equally poisonous.
That's right. That's right. They're killing me just as quickly as nerd clusters.
They are.
Right.
And delicious with every bite.
So I feel like I've now hit. Oh wait, and Beach or City, equal.
Yes.
I will go with equal. I like both. There's a time and a place. And Kevin, I don't understand how you could be anything but psyched that you got that close to a manatee.
Yes, I agree.
I would be so psyched.
I know. That's what people tell me. I lived and I told. That's it.
There you go. Fair enough.
They apparently will
cover everything. We're done.
They bite you, but they will grab your leg if you're in the way, and then they drag you for a while. Which underwater seems like a negative to me. I don't know.
It probably is a negative, Kevin.
I really like to snorkel. So that's what I like about the beach. I like to see the animals. Like I specifically like the thing that freaks you out.
Yes.
Yeah, it just feels like the story that would occur for me, right? Like where people will say, well, how did Kevin die? Well, in a shocking turn of event, you know how manatee are super peaceful and the cows of the ocean? That guy killed him. Right? Like, that's what it feels like it could be.
I'm learning a lot about you today. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So Beth doesn't understand me and knows that you have control issues. So I think we're done here. Like, we've had therapy, right?
What a great
we've got a psychologist here. She's taking care of us now. All of our issues have been identified.
No problem.
And,
I got you covered.
Yes. And I mean, she's kind of weighed in on kind of our useless banter, which I think is equally fun.
That's right.
So we're done. Let's go.
I was feeling left out. So now I feel like I'm a part of things. Thanks.
That's great.
Brody,
you want to start us off, Kevin? You want to get into some questions? I mean, and actually talk about higher ed. That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah. Brody mentioned the psychologist aspect of this. You're a licensed psychologist, and I will say I know a lot of student affairs folks. That's not a credential I see a lot of student affairs VPs are carrying around. How does that lens, the clinical training, the way a psychologist reads a room in a situation, show up in how you lead?
Well, thank you. First, I want to correct the record. I am not currently licensed.
Oh, okay.
Because I am not a practicing psychologist. My doctorate is in psychology, and I'm eligible to be licensed, but I never got my license in the state of California. So for anyone who's watching who will call BS on that, I want to put that to bed real quick. But I am also a certified executive coach, and that is a current certification I hold, and that is work that I currently practice outside of my full-time job with other institutions. So to your question, I think that my background in psychology has been the most valuable training I could possibly have gotten to lead in student affairs and in higher education in general. It really, everything from how to communicate effectively with folks to, how to de-escalate a crisis situation to helping to foster a sense of buy-in and team dynamics, just everything that every time I turn around, I'm connecting with another situation that really draws upon that training. The only training that maybe is almost as useful as my psychology and my coaching training is the fact that I bartended for 12 years.
Really?
That's all of this kind of goes together.
Yeah.
An orientation toward customer service and a tolerance for all sorts of behavior. And I was a therapist for 5 years before I went into higher education, and I worked in inpatient and outpatient psychiatric settings. So I worked in a psychiatric hospital with people who were who struggled with pretty severe issues. Yeah. So coming into higher education, some of the crisis work that we do here that would rattle some other folks never rattled me, because I was dealing with some of the toughest cases out there. For a long time in very high pressure environments. So coming into higher ed felt liberating in a lot of ways, and stimulating in others. What I love about higher education is that every single day is something different, and that variety is really good for my ADHD brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. The thing I think about often, and you talked about how that background really helps you in the work that you do. Part of the reason I left student affairs as the field as a standalone, I grew up in housing, Brody grew up in housing, was I became an expert because of certain situations that happened around me in student death and crisis. Mm-hmm. And so I got to think that your field of study and just how to balance and how to handle those situations allows you to approach it in a healthier way than I probably did as a 23, 24-year-old professional and working in housing and residence life.
I hope so. And I have to say, I probably approach it in a healthier way now than I did when I was a 25-year-old professional. But one of the things that, one of the main benefits is that I knew from early on how to have difficult conversations with compassion, and I could sit in discomfort. I had a lot of patience and tolerance for hanging in in an uncomfortable space. And that has paid off in so many ways.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so many people really try to avoid discomfort, and
Right.
a lot of bad stuff can come out of that. But if you can hang with that for a little bit, that I find that to be incredibly useful.
Right. And if you bring compassion to the table as well, it just really, I think, is a good combination, right? Being able to have difficult conversations and being able to do that with compassion and care is equally important. It's the best balance, right? It's the balance that has to happen. So for sure. You know,
and I had to learn some of that compassion in the communication because I'm originally from New York City.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm a good Midwesterner. I'm nice to everybody.
I let's just say early on, my communication was a little edgy.
That's
What
fine.
happens?
That's what we'll say. So I had to practice making sure that my communication was, I never had to practice being direct, but I did have to practice being more compassionate in delivery.
That's awesome. I think we're all learning all the time, right? So it's good to have the training and then be able to build that in. That relational piece in advising we talk about is a skill, right? It can be developed. And I think thinking about it from that perspective is really important.
100%.
I want to switch. I want to switch gears. Just brief. I mean, it's not really a big switch, but you've been described as someone who maybe turns divisions around. I was thinking about your California experience, specifically Sacramento State, Long Beach. In both situations, you walked in maybe into a situation and built something that wasn't there. What does the first 90 days look like when you're the person who's brought in to kind of change things? You know?
That's a great question. In Sacramento, I did a fair amount of building. We built basic needs there. We built the behavioral intervention team there. There was a lot of building there, not so much turning around, but building. And in California, at Long Beach, the division that I walked into was struggling. They had a rough experience prior to my arrival, and a lot of people were hurt, pained. There were trust had been damaged. It was a tough time, and then we went right into COVID. I was hired in my job. Excuse me. I was offered the job and I accepted it in February 2020, but I started it June 2nd, 2020.
Oh my.
So I took it before COVID and I started it right as COVID started.
Wow.
So the division that was already really struggling with some pain and I had a predecessor who left under some tough circumstances. Then we went right into an unprecedented pandemic. So It was a rough time. So what does the first 90 days look like in that kind of a situation when there's so much damage done and people are really struggling to trust? You listen. You do a lot of listening. You do a lot of getting to know people and really getting to know people in an authentic way. You have to care and you have to show that you care. You have to ask questions, not just about what's happened at the job, but also about who these people are. Who are you? Like, why do you do this? What matters to you? You know, I needed to know that this person will give 110%, but needs to leave at 5 o'clock on the dot because what matters most to him is that he coaches Little League. Yeah. That's important to know. Like, I need to know that this other person has a real hard time getting in the morning, but will stay until 10 o'clock at night if you need them to. I need to know who's got kids and who's got dogs and whose parents are sick and who's, going through a divorce. And you need to know these things. You need to know who the humans are. So I spend the first 90 days just asking people questions and getting to know who they are and what matters to them and what they've been through and how that's impacted them and where they're hoping to go from here.
Yeah, I was at a day-long transition session. We had some speakers in earlier this week on our campus. And one of the questions they asked was, think about a recent transition. So I was thinking about my time at Illinois State and what made the biggest difference. And my department is pretty large. And I said to the person, right, we had some think, pair, share time. And I said, meeting with every single person in my space individually was by far the best thing that I did when I started in my new role. And it gets at everything that you've just talked about. Humanity first, right? We have to know who our people are, what's good in their space, what needs development, like how do they work, what's important to them. And the only way you can do that is to sit down and have a conversation. So I love that you kind of approached that response in that way, because it made a huge difference for me in my new space too.
It was incredibly hard to do in the beginning of COVID.
Yeah.
Coming in COVID, and I'm getting to know everyone online this way. It was incredibly hard to do. And also, this is a huge school. We have 42,000 students, sure. And I have over 900 people in my division.
Wow.
So there is no way I'm sitting down one-on-one with every single individual, sure. When there are 900 people in the division.
Wow.
So I did like open office hours and virtual lunches and like everything that I could think of just to connect with as many people in as meaningful a way as possible, so that they could start to see who I am and start to believe that I'm someone who means what I say and they can trust me. And there's a level of impeccability that's required when you're already coming into a situation where people have had their trust abused. It's even, you can't slip. You just can't slip. You have to be 100% above reproach at all times, because if you slip, it's just going to make them think that you're another one, just another person who's going to do harm. So there's a level of impeccability that's intimidating in that kind of a situation.
Yeah.
If Beth would have taken your approach, Brody, and met with everybody, she'd just now be finishing the 900.
I would. I just did. Number 900 just left before I got in here with you.
Kevin, how many do you have? Like, have you done any kind of like listening tour, something along those lines?
Listening tours, yeah. I mean, the relational part of leadership is for sure how I like to operate too. So the first 90 days that Beth mentioned is pretty similar, but I only have 100 or so. I mean, 100, 110 that are in the division. And, but I spend a lot of time out of my office and in their space. And some of that's because of the leftover ramifications of supervisors that never came to your office. Yeah. And so I very much try to get out and about and see people in their space, because that seems to matter a lot. But yeah, I did see my folks, because that relational approach is how I thrive and how we thrive as a team.
Yeah, it's great.
It does matter. It levels the playing field, and it indicates some humility. Like, you're not sitting up in an ivory tower summoning people all the time. You're fine to be in their spaces and to just be out and about. I think it matters.
Yeah, and every campus has this, as we've talked to guests, where they'll say, oh, I'm in the admin building, I'm in this building. And on my campus, I'm in what's called Wingo Hall, but people refer to, because the president's office is in this building, where it's like, oh, it's Wingo. And it's like, I mean, it's an office, and I leave it. Like, I just happen to reside here sometimes, and so I think there's that stigma that comes with it. So yeah, when you walk out and you go do that, there's some humanizing that occurs that wouldn't happen if you just waited for people to come to you as well.
Yeah.
The other thing that I did, which is controversial, I never wear a suit. And there are people who don't like that, who think that,
really,
I never wear a suit. When you're at a certain level of administration, there's some expectation about like a dress code, but I was very intentional about being as accessible as possible. And I felt like a suit made me seem really stuffy and remote. And I don't like them anyway, so that's great. But I don't wear suits. I think I might have 2 in my closet, and I only wear them under very certain circumstances. I don't wear them at work.
I love that.
COVID killed dressing up for me, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, since COVID, my quest for clothes has been to find the perfect sweatpant, the perfect jogger. Like,
that's amazing. I don't do that either, but yes.
I mean, I went to Catholic school. I wore a tie for like 13 straight years. And I'm like, I'm done.
That sounds like my version of hell. I would hate that so much.
Yeah. So Beth, you you work and serve a student body that's primarily first generation and Pell eligible, and that's not incidental to the work, right? It kind of defines what the work has to be. I've really spent a lot of time since 2009 in my career kind of in the trio space, overseeing student sports services. How does that student population shape the decisions your division makes every day?
That's a great question. Thank you, Brody. They're my heart. That's I've only ever worked at institutions like that. I've only ever worked in public HSI, minority serving, Pell eligible, first gen, super diverse, missions of access. Like that's my jam. That's my lane. How does that color everything? I'll give you an example from the mental health work that we've done on our campus. 85 to 90% of mental health services on college campuses require students to go get help, go somewhere, make an appointment, ask for help, etc. If you do that on a college campus that's dedicated to diverse first generation students, you're not going to serve the students you're not going to serve your students.
That's accurate.
Yeah, because they're not a help-seeking population.
Nope.
They're not a help-seeking population by design, and they're also, and if and when it gets tough enough that they might consider seeking help, it's not going to be from the school.
Right.
It'll be from a friend or from a family member. They'll even go to clergy before they'll come to the school. So if you design services that require a student to step forward and ask for help, you're already dead in the water. You're already not serving your population.
Right.
So it informs everything that we do. Everything that we design is designed to go to the student, find the student before the student has to come find us. Because if they have to come find us, we've already lost most of them.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it just is necessary. That's how they pick,
Yeah, and I see that in action every day in Trio, right? It's such a proactive space.
That's right. Everything has to be proactive. Like the way Kevin was talking about, you can't wait for people to come to your office. Everything is pushed out into the community. Yeah. Everything is in collaboration. We text students regularly. We physically go into the spaces where we know they congregate. It's just all about going to them, because these are communities that don't and that have very good reason historically not to trust institutions and authority figures. So their first thought when something goes wrong is not, let me go find someone in charge to help me. So we need to really get out in front and make sure that we are constantly providing and offering before anyone has to ask.
And that approach benefits all students too, right? Like that's the other piece to that, right? Is we think, well, how do we serve diverse populations? And you start to try to understand first gen folks or Hope Chicago students on my campus or SOAR or Noble students. And once you realize how to serve that population, you realize that's how we probably should be serving all students, right? And everyone benefits from that.
Yeah, it's the old, stairs versus ramp thing.
Yeah.
If everyone can go up a ramp, but only some people can go upstairs. So if you have a choice, go with the ramp over the stairs. It's the same way that we design. It's the principle of universal design, really. Absolutely. Trying to make sure that what we do works for everybody. And the best way for it to work for everybody is for it to work for the people who face the most challenges.
Yeah. Love that.
You mentioned earlier the situational circumstance you started your job in. And so I think that's in my head at this moment when your division was just named a 2026 most promising place to work in student affairs. That's culture recognition. That's not just program recognition. What did it take to build that culture, especially after what you walked into to start?
And I want to say, just because I've got humility for myself, but I have no humility when it comes to my division.
Yeah.
This is the second time in 3 years that we've been designated
That's
that we
awesome.
received this designation.
Well done.
Excuse me, I'm still getting over a cold, but yeah, I'm really, really proud. What does it take? Gosh, I'm a mom. I have 2 kids at home, and there's a line that Adam Sandler says in the movie Blended. Like, it's a dumb movie, but he says this line about, like, it should be boring how reliably you show up for your kids as a parent. It should be boring. Like, they need to take for granted how reliable you are, and I feel that way about a division. It should be boring how supportive we are of our staff and our students. It should be like, whatever, that's normal. So everything that, when I got here, I needed to show people that they could trust me, which meant that I begged people to speak. I begged them to say things that were negative. Sometimes I even planted people to say things that are negative so people could see that I would receive that, and that this was not a punitive culture anymore, and that we could speak. Soliciting input all the time, constantly, and really working to train and give a lot of professional development to the people who are doing any kind of supervision, any kind of leadership. Yeah. I have built an incredible team. My leadership team could take on any leadership team in the land. Like, they are notoriously high functioning, not just because they're each talented in their own right, which they are, but awesome. Because they love each other. They work together extraordinarily well. They collaborate with one another. We're at a level where if one of us is in the room, we're all in the room. And that's unusual. I don't find many teams functioning at that level. And if you ask any of us, they'll all say the same thing. Like, we just went for breakfast this morning, and literally over breakfast, everyone was talking about how happy they are, how our team is incredible, how everyone likes everybody else. And it's a very diverse team. It's not like we're all alike. We are absolutely not in any way like each other, but we have developed a strong trust in one another and some really great communication. And I think everything has flowed from there. Once I could get that team, and the team that I inherited is not the same team that I have now. Yeah. There are some people who are still here who were on it to begin with, but some people needed to go on to other opportunities.
Yeah.
So, but we're at a place now where it's just the machine hums. Like, they love each other, they work well together, and I think that really is the foundation that everything else comes from. Because when the team works well together, fewer things fall between the cracks. The middle managers get better support and better role modeling and training. We have better succession planning. We're able to recruit at a higher level, not just students, but also staff. It's just, when you can put that, I invested a lot in the leadership team, and it's paid dividends. That the ROI is outstanding.
Beth, you've hit at something that I talk about a lot in the advising community, right? This notion of happiness and meaning making in the workplace. And one of the things I think we forget about is the role that leaders play in that process, right? Helping our folks be the best versions of themselves, and the responsibility that comes with that. And it's really about creating environments, right, where people can thrive. Everything that you just kind of talked about is really about a system level or an environment level thinking. I mean, everybody wants to feel like they can be successful in the work, but you have to create an environment where that actually can happen day to day. So good for you.
That's pretty much what I do. I create a great team, and then that's it. That's all I do. They do everything else.
Yeah.
So if I can just get the team to where it needs to be, then I get to enjoy the fruits of that. They're the ones that they own the rest of the success. The team.
That's fantastic.
And I think it's really interesting because, Beth, I like just hearing you talk. I think your answer is probably similar to mine. When people say, how do you get what do you do, and how do you get your teams to function? And it seems really crazy that the answer is just to give a damn about the people you work with.
Yes.
Like,
that's a great start. That's a great start. And I do, and we all do. But we also spend a lot of time together, very intentionally. We spend a lot of time together, and we don't shy away from hard conversations.
Yeah.
So, and we spent time early on learning how to have hard conversations with each other and building, like accumulating enough capital and enough trust that if it went a little sideways, it wasn't going to implode. If a conversation didn't work out great, we knew we could clean it up because we had the foundation underneath us. So it was really important to me that we are able to hold each other accountable and not just Pollyanna our way through, because that's not real.
And I think, Bertie, I'm going to jump back just a little bit. And there's so many questions we could ask because this is just amazing conversation. But I think that when you work in student affairs, there's a label or expectation that ends up on student affairs folks. And most people think it's housing and it's programs. And you seem to think of it differently and approach that differently. How do you define what student affairs is and what it can and maybe should be on campuses, as opposed to, well, we throw some events, that I think happens on a lot of campuses?
I mean, we're the glue that holds most of the campus together.
Yeah.
Faculty are incredible, but they're solitary creatures. Like they work in, they're not everyone, I don't want stones thrown at me by the faculty, but not everyone. But in a classroom, they own the classroom, they own the curriculum. They're not notorious for their high levels of collaboration, with some exception. Student affairs, we do everything. We're the ones that faculty come to when they've got a student they don't know what to do about. We're the ones that handle, the disruptions and the campus protests, and we're the ones who do leadership training, and we're the people that folks come to when when a student told them, just disclosed that they've been living in their car or don't have enough food. I mean, We're really dealing on some campuses, often we're dealing with life and death circumstances.
Yep.
Counseling. I have doctors who are in student affairs. We have like x-ray machines and physicians. We're now doing dental work. I mean, the kinds of things that we do in student affairs, we're so far from that punching cookies mentality.
Right.
I mean, we've left that in the dust decades ago.
Sure.
I am assessing whether a student is a risk for our campus. The liability issues that we manage alone would keep the novice awake at night. Like, we're people who are dealing with 3 a.m. calls, crisis calls from dorms, and gosh, and now, add enrollment to it.
Right.
We're determining who your students are. We're going and finding them, and we're getting them to apply, and we're helping to make sure that the students who are sitting in your classrooms are the ones that should be sitting in your classrooms, that are ready for you to teach them and that you want to be teaching.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, I just can't think of a thing that we don't touch.
Yeah. And so let's talk about, let's unpack this a little bit more, right? Because you have a lot of experience, but if you're talking to someone early in a student affairs career right now, someone who's come in because they believe in the work, but they're starting to feel the weight of it. What do you say to those new professionals in this space, given how massive that definition is and the importance of that role that you think student affairs plays?
Well, first, breathe. Breathe. It's not all happening today, so it's okay. You don't have to do every piece of it. Just learn how to do your piece of it really, really well. And one of my favorite pieces of advice is prioritize curiosity over comfort. Just be curious. If there's something you haven't tried and you have the opportunity to try it, give it a shot. Learn something. Learn that thing that someone else knows how to do that you don't know how to do. Get curious and be stimulated But these are incredible opportunities. And it is such a deep and profound honor to do the kind of work that we do. I just came before we did this taping. I came from a walkthrough of our commencement stage. We got it all set up on campus and we start on Sunday. And I'm going to do 15 commencement ceremonies. So I'm going to be doing 14-hour days, 5 days in a week. Because
Beth, I've lived that life. Oh gosh.
Yeah, we've got so many students. But I was standing on that stage thinking about how starting Sunday, every single one of those students their lives are changed forever because of what they did here with us. And so many times, so many students would not get to that stage if it were not for the work that we do to keep them here and to support them and to make them feel welcomed and capable and safe. And what a profound honor it is to do the work that we do every day. So if it feels big, it's because it is big.
Yeah.
It's big for better and for worse. It's big in the sense that we've got a lot of responsibility, but it's also big that, man, what an impact we get to make. And how could you ever, that to me is addictive.
Yeah, I have felt that in my life as an academic advisor and then as an advising administrator, helping advisors do what I think is life-changing work in the academic side. I mean, although, when I started in academic advising at the University of Northern Iowa in 1995, we were in student affairs.
And I have academic advising and student affairs at Sacramento State.
Everything is student work, right?
It is.
The work is for the student.
It is.
Yeah.
I have groundskeepers in student affairs because they're the groundskeepers who keep the grounds around the dorms. I have plumbers in student affairs. I once had athletics in student affairs, and I had the police on one campus was in student affairs. It really can be so many different things, but at the end of the day, what it is serving students and making sure that they get everything they need to be who they want to be. And I'm hooked. Once I got into it, there was no way I was getting out.
Brody mentioned, guidance for the staff that you work with. You are either completing or it's darn close to, you have a book coming out that touches on this topic. And so for our audience that's listening today, if they're thinking, this Beth Lesen knows what she's talking about, let's go. Where can they pick up this book? When can they pick up this book?
That's a great question. Thank you. I've been doing this for a long time. When you get to year 25, 26, 27, I'm not going to say any more numbers. When you start getting to those years, you've seen some things. So those are good people to ask questions of. They've seen some stuff. Yeah. And so I do a lot of coaching. I do a lot of executive coaching, and I work with teams on different campuses. And I do a lot of presenting. And every time I coach or I present, for years, people said, you should write a book. You should write a book. And I said, oh, who wants to do that? That's such a pain in the neck. I don't want to write a book. And then my girlfriend, Marcia, said to me, how many chapters have you contributed to other people's books? And I counted them up and I said, 10. And she said, so you've written a book. You just gave it away to 10 different people. Yeah. And you don't have one. You gave yours away to 10 different people.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? Write your own. And that was quite a wake-up call. So I sat and I thought, what book do I want to write first? Because now I'm hooked on that too, and there'll be more. And I decided not everyone has the resources to access my coaching. And access is a big deal for me.
Yeah.
So I'm putting as much of my coaching as I can into this book.
That's great.
So that anyone who wants to hear the kinds of things that I talk about with people I coach can just buy the book and read it. It's not the same kind of experience because, that one-on-one dynamic is part of the magic, but that requires some additional resources, and a book is much more affordable. So this is really a career coaching book for anyone who wants to make higher education their life, their field, their career. And, I cover a whole bunch of things that we've all stumbled over in our time. The politics of it, how to manage up, how to negotiate, the whole job the search process, the first 90 days, fitting into a new campus and without losing yourself, how to adapt without losing who you are authentically. And it really is kind of a love letter to first generation professionals, because we talk about first generation students go on to become first generation professionals.
Yeah.
And we talk about the hidden curriculum of college, but we don't really talk about the hidden curriculum of work.
Yeah.
And a lot of student affairs professionals are first generation professionals wondering what's going on in this meeting. Why isn't anyone saying the thing that we all know is true?
Yeah.
Or, what am I getting wrong? Why does I feel like I'm working so hard and my boss likes this guy so much better than me? What's happening? Why doesn't anyone recognize my contribution? We've all stumbled through these things, or, I've got a boss who steals my ideas. What do I do? So,
Are you writing that down, Kevin?
Beth, what's the name of the book? I need to buy Brody a gift.
Well, interestingly enough, I don't have a name yet. I haven't given it a title. So I do a lot of posting on LinkedIn.
All right.
And one of the things I'm going to
Yes, you do, and it's great.
I do. I post a lot on
It's
LinkedIn.
great.
And I'm going to crowdsource a title for the book sometime over the summer. I'm going to put out 4 options, and I'm just going to ask people, what should I name this?
If you're thinking of a 5th option, I still think we could go with things Brody Broshier should do. And then we throw that out there to the audience and we go from there.
Or I'm not giving this stuff away for free anymore, like we do on our podcast,
like
Kevin.
that.
Right?
That's a
I
good
give a lot
We're
away.
not smart enough to monetize this, Kevin. We just look like goofballs on YouTube.
No, well, that's beautiful. That's how it starts. That's what I do on LinkedIn. I just give away as much as I can. And the other stuff is for people who just want more.
It's
on
wonderful.
a little bit outside of the office things, and some of this is not, right? Like you mentioned your LinkedIn, and listen, within the last couple of months, we've had some folks on that I've said have been great LinkedIn follows. I don't know of anyone better than Beth, right? Like it is next level great. And
You're doing great work in that space, Kevin. Come on.
You are, Kevin. You're doing great.
I appreciate it, but
I'm trying to keep up. I don't have the time or energy. I'm 10 years older than you are, Kevin. Come on.
there was a
I'm a
couple
senior
weeks ago.
citizen.
There was a couple weeks ago. I'm writing a post in the morning. I'm at my apartment. I'm at the table before I go to work, and I'm writing a post. And I'm like, I really like this. I like this idea. I go, and I'm about to go to post, and I go to post, and all of a sudden I see Beth post, and I'm like, it's the same dang topic, right?
Oh,
like,
wow. Which one?
It was like 2 weeks ago, and I'm just sitting there
You
going,
should have done it anyway. And just
I know,
tagged
but I
me,
didn't,
and then I would have tagged you.
it felt too interconnected. I was like, I got to save it. So I've saved it.
Okay. Well,
But you're good at it.
whatever happens,
You're
then
great at
tag
it.
me and I'll tag you. And
Yeah,
then
there we
we'll
right.
cross-pollinate.
That's right. That's right. We'll cross-pollinate on that. But Beth, beyond like your LinkedIn stuff, you are a Long Beach City Commissioner, I believe.
am.
Yeah. You are a psychologist. We mentioned that. Executive coach, author. You have great kids.
I do.
And
I
so,
love. Can I also plug? I'm on the board for the National Endowment for Financial Education.
Yes, we were going to ask about that.
Yeah. I want to plug NEFI because they're doing such spectacular work, and I think a lot of colleges are going to start hearing more about that organization. In the past, a lot of their focus has been on K-12 and really advocating with different states to get states to legislate mandated financial education for kids before they graduate high school. But their focus is beginning to shift a little. They've had tremendous success in that area, and many states have legislated mandated financial education. But now they're starting to take a closer look at post-secondary, and I think a lot of colleges are going to hear more about them. I am beating the financial education drum for our students, especially now with all of the changes that have happened with OB3 and loan caps and changes in what can be which loans can be forgiven. So really learning more about financial education from the youngest possible age so that you have the best possible chance of creating financial wellness for yourself and for your family.
I guess the thing, even within that, right? Like your advocacy there, like even within topics of coaching and being a city commissioner and all of that. One, like when do you sleep? And two, how do you do this balancing of these things and still excel in those roles?
I'm not sure.
I like the honesty.
That's a good answer.
That's my first answer. Well, first, one of the reasons I love education so much is because it's not a corporate office. I can bring my children. Like if I have something that I need to do on campus, like tonight we have a cultural graduation celebration. Yeah. And my daughter's going to come with me. I don't have to be away from my kids to do some of these things. So it really does empower you to do a lot when you can bring your family along with you. Yeah. And I think that's great for the kids when they go to a cultural graduation ceremony and they hear those speakers and they see those performances. I can't imagine anywhere else I'd rather them be, and they appreciate it. So I think it's great for everyone involved. So first of all, I don't really balance life so much as integrate it. Yeah. And I've had tremendously supportive presidents. My last president for a long time was Jane Close Connolly. And then most recently, I had Andy Jones. And now I just got a new president on May 1st. So he's been with us for 15 whole days, wow. Dr. Warren Blanchard, and all three of them understand the importance of our university's involvement in our local community and also in the national landscape. So they are very supportive of my participation in all of these different things, local and national, because they understand that all of that only makes the university stronger and better. So without their support, I don't think that I would be able to do those kinds of things. For sure, I wouldn't be able to. As a matter of fact, I just handed my new president a sheet of paper with all of my involvements and the time commitments that are attached, and said to him, if you, I can explain the value of these involvements, but if there are any that you don't want me to participate in, they're gone. Because without my boss's support, I can't do them.
Right.
Yeah. So as I've had tremendously supportive supervisors and presidents who have really understood the value of having that kind of involvement, both nationally and locally. And it is an extraordinary value for the university. Part of the reason I'm a commissioner for the Long Beach Health and Human Services was because of COVID. Yeah. Because we were in constant daily contact with our public health officer. And as a result, I sit on the commission now. And there are other involvements that have evolved similarly. But I believe that our involvement benefits them. Having the university's involvement benefits them, but it also our involvement in those activities benefits the university. I would never have been able to bring dental services to our campus if I hadn't been involved with Health and Human Services. But because of that involvement, now our students have access to free dental care on our campus. So it brings so much additional value to the campus and to our students that it makes sense. There's good ROI there. It makes sense to invest in that way.
There's so many folks that listen to this that sit in places where they don't ask the question. And so I think your example of here are the things that I do, showing that to your supervisor, showing that to your boss. Brody and I, when we started this podcast, it was conversations with the people that we work for. This is kind of in our realm, but this is why it's rewarding for the university. This is why it's rewarding for the people that we work with. This is why it's rewarding for us, right? And how it's going to serve in those ways. like those conversations are so healthy to have. And I think sometimes people are afraid to have them and are afraid of what's going to be said to their supervisors, which is a different topic. But like I think not being afraid to do those things and to embrace those things and the good that comes from it outside of you, but also as you as a professional, can be incredibly rewarding and powerful.
It can be super intimidating. And
Yep.
one of the real joys of being closer to the end of my career than I am to the beginning is that I'm not nearly as afraid of as many things as I used to be early on.
Yeah.
I think early in my career, I would have been a lot more intimidated. And, first I have more experience with having those conversations and seeing them go really well. And also there's less to lose. Like, I'm closer to the end of my career, so it's okay. Whatever happens is all right. But I've never had one of those conversations and have it go poorly.
Right.
I haven't either.
I've never experienced anything negative from having one of those conversations, because the worst thing that can happen is they say, I'd really rather you didn't. And I say,
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah. It's literally never failed me to have those conversations.
Yeah.
So, Kevin, we probably should move to the lightning round, don't you think?
It's the
The lightning rounds? Oh, I'm so excited.
Lightning round.
I got to
There we go.
Lightning round. I don't normally get to do that.
I know you don't. You went into it, and I was like, "Let's go, let's do it." Beth, first job you ever had?
I worked in a flea market. I was 13 years old, and it was under the table.
Gosh,
Love
that
it.
sounds like the best job. I would love to work at a flea market. Let's go.
Hidden talent that
You
most
don't count babysitting. I mean, babysitting was probably first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hidden talent that most people who know you professionally have no idea about.
I used to swing dance
Oh,
for many years. And I don't know if this is a talent, but I used to work for a 2-liter open wheel auto racing team.
that is awesome.
Wow.
My
All right.
cat even likes it.
I like your cat. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's not a talent. I didn't do the driving, but I did swing dance for many years.
That's a talent.
Incredible. Love
Best piece of feedback you ever got that you didn't want to hear?
Carmela Rodriguez told me, you need to stop holding everyone else to the same standard to which you hold yourself. They will constantly disappoint you and you will piss them off all the time.
Yes. That's
Love it.
great guidance that you didn't want to hear.
It has been invaluable. He was correct. I hold
Yeah.
myself to a very high standard, and that's great, but not for everybody.
Whether it's chapter 11 or the full book, what's one idea that you've been building towards?
This is going to sound hokey, but we need to spend more time together, and we need to slow down and be kind to one another.
I love it.
Yeah, I don't think that's
You've hit my sweet
I think that's
spot.
aspirational
Sure.
for sure. Yeah. Brody and I are just talking over each other and saying the same things, I think.
The screens, man, the screens are tearing us apart, and we need to get together way more, be together, talk
Yes.
to each other, listen, stay curious, care, like stop fighting, just listen for a little bit.
I have found that to be a generational divide for us in
It is.
spaces here recently.
It is. I think there's a lot of that. Yeah.
This-
Touch grass, as the kids may say.
Yeah,
Touch grass.
the youngs want to be on the screen for sure.
And-
They think it's a lot more valuable than
Yeah.
getting together in person.
As my daughter would say, touch grass.
Your daughter's way cooler than any of. I don't even know what that is.
My 16-year-old, that's when you've been on screens for too long. Even the kids will just tell you to stop.
Oh,
It's time to
touch grass.
touch grass. Touch grass.
I thought this was like something from the marijuana community. Touch
No.
grass, touch grass. You know,
No.
We've talked about my hatred for grass. Maybe that's not the best option. I'm the weirdest person in the world.
we're recording on a Friday. The episode will release on a Wednesday. What does a great weekend look like right now? I know you mentioned you have commencement that starts on Sunday, so maybe this isn't a full one, but what's a great weekend look like?
Yeah, this is a bad time to ask me because I'm just getting over a cold and I'm going to have commencement. So right now, the best weekend looks like a lot of sleep and trash TV.
Yeah.
But a great weekend normally would be spent, I want to be able to sleep in, wake up whenever my body wakes up, have a hot beverage in a leisurely way, hang out with my kids, doing something that makes them nice to each other and makes us all laugh.
Love it.
What's the trash TV you're going to watch? I need to know this.
Oh my gosh. So I love trash TV, but I don't love anything angsty because the world is too angsty.
Yeah.
So I pretty much will only watch like comedies.
Okay.
Or procedurals. Like I'll watch a procedural sometimes. So like we were watching Lincoln Lawyer. That even got a little angsty for me. Yes. Bridgerton. I just finished Bridgerton and Queen Charlotte. They were great. They were perfect. I'm watching the literal dumbest sitcom on the planet called Suburgatory right now. Dumbest thing I've ever seen, and I love it. It's great. We were watching Blind Spot. That got a little angsty for me. That got a little angsty, but I haven't given up on it yet. What other trash TV?
I'm amazed at this list. For somebody that has no time, I'm amazed.
No, I watch one television show a night. One. That's it. One television show a night. I zipped through all of Veronica Mars recently.
Fun.
That was fun. I'd never seen it before. Like I missed that whole thing. I missed all of Gossip Girl, so I just did all of Gossip Girl. So I watch one television show a night, but I catch up on planes.
Oh.
I download from Netflix and I watch on planes.
Yeah, we should talk about our plane habits. That could be a top 3 at some point in time. We got to
Oh my God, I have very, very intricate plane habits.
Yeah.
Ooh, this has to be a topic.
Yeah. Invite me back for plane habits because I have very strong opinions for that.
Well, Beth, after we say farewell, and given that you said you're overcoming being sick, our top 3 for today is just kind of randomly things you do when you're sick. Top 3 things. What is something that you do when you're sick as we wrap up today?
Well, what I normally do is pop Zicam, like it's my job, and I drink a ton of liquid. Zicam is, you said that like the candy company is not going to be your sponsor. Maybe Zicam can be your sponsor.
We can work on that, Kevin.
For this episode.
We'll send them something.
I pop Zicam and vitamin C like crazy, and it have a lot of liquids and soups and whatever. But I have to be honest, part of the reason I'm still sick this time, I didn't do any of that. Instead, I loaded up on over-the-counter medication and went out dancing, and that's why I'm still sick.
Oh no.
There is a thing called Early Birds Cafe, and it's Early Birds Cafe, I think it's called, yes. And it's for middle-aged women. And they say, I'm going to not swear, their tagline is the dance party for women with bleep to do in the morning. So they do it, and they do it all over the country. And so it only comes to town every few months, and it is, you can find it everywhere, but it goes from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. So you can go out and have like a nostalgic clubbing experience and get to bed on time and feel good in the morning.
Yeah,
love that.
And it happened while I was sick, and there was no way I was missing it. So I loaded up on over-the-counter drugs and went out with my friends anyway, and now I'm still sick.
Yeah, maybe, Kevin, we could get baseball, Major League Baseball, to start the games at 5 o'clock every night. Our
See?
time. Same difference. Yeah.
Well, just like the dancing, this is an episode that we're glad you didn't miss, and thank you so much for being a part of it. Beth, you've been great, and so thank you again for joining us on the pickup meeting.
This has been super fun. Thanks for having me.
It was great to meet you.
Same.
Wow, so fun.
Gosh dang, that was so amazing. Like I had such a good time. And this is one of these things where we didn't talk about like how we know each other, because this is maybe one of our first 2 or 3 guests that I only know in the social realm of things. Like I saw a post by Beth on LinkedIn and
reached out,
blown away, and reached out, and she was like, yeah, let's do this. And how kind of her to spend some time with us. But I think we gained from that. That was fantastic.
Yeah, it's wonderful to build new networks, right? We're kind of writing a paper about like the conference folks that we meet, and we've put in a session proposal that got accepted to kind of talk about this. It doesn't matter how old you are, building those networks really matters. There's so much we can learn from each other. And if we're intentional about that, it's wonderful. She was great. She was great.
And Brody, you know what I'm getting you for your birthday.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, it is. Hey, so listen.
How about a record? Like, just be boring.
Yeah, I'm not going to get your record. You're getting Beth's book. Let's go.
Yeah.
The topic today for our top 3 might seem really random, but it's not, because every time I've been picking up the phone to call Brody lately, it's been like, my sciatica and my back, and then he's coughing up his lung. Like, I feel like he's been sick for like weeks as we've tried to get through things. And so it is the top 3 things that you do when you're sick that are unique to you.
I don't know if they're unique to me.
Well, you think they are. They're your things.
Well, I'm terrible at being sick. That's the first thing. Like, and I don't ever really, like, as a kid, I think I missed one day of school, one day of high school, right? Like, I just didn't miss. And at work, I was never very good at sick leave. I'm getting a lot better at sick leave, that's for sure. Like, I'm now taking time. So when I'm sick now that I'm 55 years old, like, I'm not dumb anymore, and I go home, because you can't be productive at work if you're sick. So that's one thing. I think top 3 is I'm using sick time now when I'm sick. Like, that's smart. Like, go home. Don't fight through that. Like, there's no reason to do it. Like Beth, I just throw as many drugs at the problem as I can. I don't know that that's unique to me, but my wife tries to battle through, right? She says, well, the fever's designed to stop all of this. And I'm like, give me more Tylenol. Give me more ibuprofen.
Wait, is this your cat impersonation that you're doing? We got
No.
She's going to be listening to this episode. She's going to be like, why do I sound like that?
No, it's not my impersonation, but she tries to fight through. And I'm like, all that does is mask the symptoms. I'm like, yeah, but the symptoms are terrible. Like, I want the symptoms to go away. So I'm going to take medicine until the stuff takes care of itself. So that's the second thing. I don't know if I've got a third thing.
All right, well, I'm jumping in.
Fevers kill me. So that's the other thing. I just go straight to bed. Like, and it doesn't have to be a big fever. Like, once a fever hits me, it's over.
I think I probably do some of the things you do. I would say the things that stand out to me as far as sick is when I'm sick, it's going to be trash TV time. Like, I'm going to find the binge on Netflix or in one of the stations. I'm gonna watch it all, right? Like, I think that's how I Cobra Kai, right? Like, I watched Cobra Kai and I was like, why am I watching this? I loved Karate Kid, but then I watched Cobra Kai, and I think it was while I was sick. Sprite has to be something that I'm having. It doesn't matter if I have a sore throat or not, right? Like, sore throat would help, but like Sprite was this go-to of things.
Yeah, I keep Sprite Zero at home for sure. Yeah. Not necessarily for that reason, but yes, that's great. Yeah.
And then I would say something that became semi-new. Listen, vaccines, all the preventative things I could do. I got COVID more times than I wish I did, and that was terrible. But one of the things that I got from that is not just laying there all the time. So I would get up and go walk, and I'd get up and do things in the yard, not like hard things, but just walk around and do something with the dog. And so now, like, when I'm sick, as much as I don't want to, I will do something to keep me moving. I've been sick and kept my 10,000 step streak, and that's not easy, but it was.
I did that too.
Yeah, it was what I needed to do mentally, and maybe not physically, but it did help, I think, in the long term.
Well, that was great.
Yeah, there we go.
I mean, we've talked about my mom. My mom used to take care of me. Like, when you had those upset stomachs, I'd get a soft-boiled egg on a dry piece of toast, and, the Sprite, the crackers, like the saltines. Love it.
This is a callback to a previous episode, and I got a message from a friend the other day, and they said, is Brody at his house so his mom takes care of him while he's sick? And I'm like, exactly. He's 55 and mom is still taking care of him. 100%.
Oh, I don't even know where to go from that. I think you love me so much that the teasing is just nonstop. That's what I'm going to say.
It is. But why don't you send us home today?
Yeah, that's it for this edition of the Pickup Meeting. We hope all your meetings, formal or pickup style, are as fun and as meaningful as this one. Until the next time, gang, let's just do good and be nice, okay? Kevin, be nice.